My neighbor is mowing his yard right outside of my window.
You would have my sympathy, but today you do not.
Oh, I feel bad.
It's alright. It's not the first time this has happened. It won't be the last.
Oh, god damn it. Seriously, I set an alarm. I don't know what the fuck happened to it, so I'm just glad I didn't miss it by much more.
It got eaten by the zone by the looks of it.
Oh, shut the fuck. Okay, we're ready.
Yes, we are ready. House you back?
I am.
It is your duty and responsibility and punishment for starting late that you must recite what happened last session.
Well, the lawnmower guy is fucking, like, ruining everything right now, if you can't tell, so.
He will do his best.
Okay. Well, the last time was at the Blazing Sun Festival. It's finally happened, and what a festival it was. Me and Moira decided to, God, okay, there's a giant ball that was on fire. There's a giant mechanical boar that was goring it. But we heard something moving inside of the ball, so Moira decided to get the ball down and see what was inside of it. It turns out it was some sort of strange mutated tree blight. The bull started to go crazy. We had to shut it down. Meanwhile, the rest of the party was checking out the strange coffin maker's house and ended up finding some strange vampires upstairs. And then we made our way to the lake where we encountered the little girl that had been missing. Carl got dragged onto the water by some strange tentacle creature, and ended up freeing himself by summoning a pair of crocodiles to attack the tentacle, and then put on a show for the little girl that we had just found in the water with the crocodiles swimming around him.
And what a fantastic performance it was. All is forgiven.
Thank you.
So the party returns to the edge of the lake. Were you going to do anything with Bluto's body?
If I remember correctly, the lake took him. He fell out of his boat after I hit him with the staff, and it dragged him to the bottom.
Yes, I believe it floated down towards good old church.
Yeah. Church, he's just kind of sitting on the bottom of the lake, and he doesn't seem too interested in his body. After seeing his body, he actually starts making his way back towards the shore where he had first entered the water.
Okay, so you all make it back to the edge of the shore safely, and you have poor little Arabelle here fussing and fidgeting and making all kinds of commotion about wanting to go back to her parents as quickly as possible. She makes numerous unflattering remarks about the citizens of Vallaki and how they're all stupid and Strahd is going to get them.
They are all stupid, but hopefully Strahd doesn't get them.
They deserve it though. They're all mean. That's my best attempt to do. Little girl's voice. Take it or leave it.
And stupid, too.
So how are you going to go about getting back to the Vistani camp? Are you going to just go walking through the village, or are you going to circle around?
Yeah, going to the village would probably be a bad idea.
Yeah, we could circle around the outskirts.
Okay, sure thing. How far a breadth are you taking from the outskirts of the village? Are you go wandering through the forest, or are you just sort of keeping to the outside of the palisade wall? Or somewhere in between?
I think Gwen would probably decide hugging the palisade walls probably best. Keeps us out of sight of the guard and keeps us, well, on track, basically.
Okay, so you take a bit of a diverted tour around the outside of the wall. Give me perception checks, please, as you're walking around the outside of the wall to see what you notice. Okay, once you get around to the chapel area, you would notice there's rather a lot of small holes being dug at the bottom of the palisades. Looks like animal tracks and something been digging there.
Can we figure out what's been digging there? Like, are there, say, claw marks, or is it more like shovels?
Sure, those of you got 15 or higher can make a nature check. You think it's some sort of large canine, maybe a dire wolf. There's definitely more than one, though, is what you'd surmise from that 15 on the nature checks.
Who digs holes at the bottom of a fence?
Maybe someone trying to get in.
Some hungry wolves.
We should inform the town when we get the chance, if they don't try and kill us.
I wonder if they already know about it.
Would Gwen recognize, like, I'm going to assume that these are pretty far from the observation posts I see along the map.
Those are just, the towers. They're not too far away from it, but it looks recent.
It appears that these holes, you said they were dug? They've been dug under the noses of the guards.
I wonder if they even know that they exist.
It's a good question. There is a tower nearby, this one here, just near the church. There is a guard in it, or two. They don't seem to be paying much attention to you guys walking around the perimeter.
Maybe we should inform them.
You certainly can if you want to. You can walk up to the tower and holler up at them if you feel like. Okay, they holler back down to you. What do you want? What are you doing outside the village walls? Is that a Valaki girl with you? A Vistani girl with you? What are you doing with her?
We found over by the lake.
No one goes to the lake. It's full of nasty things. You shouldn't be going around there. What was the little girl doing by the lake? Are you sure you're on the up and up?
One of the fishermen had her in a bag and threw her out into the lake. We rescued her.
What fisherman?
Some drunkard who knew not what he did.
Blue balls or something like that.
Blue Ball. Bluto, the town drunk? He took over this. Where is he now?
We presume in his boat. We gave him a bit of a whack on the head.
You assaulted someone in our village? What do you think you're playing at?
He was trying to drown a girl.
Also, it was technically outside the village.
It's the technical barbarian coming up now. Make a persuasion check at disadvantage. Yeah, the lake's ours. What are you talking about? Still, you can't go around assaulting people. Where is he? You say he's in the boat on the lake? Whereabouts? I'll send someone to get him.
Quietly whisper over to Grunk or whoever's nearby. May have been a bad idea.
You think?
You have just admitted to assaulting someone, and then got yourselves involved with the potential murder, and confessed to being the ones who did it to him.
He tried to drown a little girl.
The Valachians don't like the Vistani.
That sounds like a them problem. Well, either way, there's some holes dug over by your wall.
What do you mean holes? Don't
Yeah,
try and change the subject.
Yeah,
What?
little circles in the ground.
Yeah, surely you know what a hole is.
Very funny, Dragonborn. Put you in a hole in a minute if you don't stop talking cheek. Where's Bluto? What you done with him? You say he's in the lake?
He's not in the hole.
We're trying to inform you of your town's safety. Holes by a fence, something trying to dig in. Surely that should concern you more than some drunkard. Looked almost like wolves, canines.
What's a canine?
Big doggy.
Oh, the bloody wolves are back. Oh,
A bit more important than a drunkard, don't you think? What if they would get into town and hurt one of the others? What about the poor burgomaster?
he closes his eyes a bit and looks at you and leers. Poor Burgermeister, he's more guarded than anyone in town.
Well, God forbid a filthy wolf gets up and sneaks up on him.
Not with Isaac striding around. But alright. He starts climbing down from the tower. And says, stay there a minute, I'll send someone round. And you hear some shouting coming round, and you hear the sounds of feet marching off to the west, towards the western gate.
Is this the part where we run?
I believe we run now.
Well, we were told to wait.
Because that always means we should wait.
So he starts climbing back up his watchtower. And are you guys beating feet?
Gwen was told to wait, she will wait.
You can always show them where the holes are.
Arabelle keeps looking around, staring at things, looking at you all, giving you funny looks.
Now, Arabelle, be safe and be careful. The town guard are coming to look over these holes, hopefully. Just keep away from them.
Shan't. I shall tell them what I think of them.
You best not.
While I
You're not-
understand your hatred, it's maybe a bad idea.
You're not my mother, you're not my father.
And if
Can't
you
tell me
like to
what
see
do.
him again, you should be quiet.
Don't threaten her.
Make an intimidation roll as you threaten the child.
It wasn't more threatening, I was more saying, we're trying to take you to your dad. If you get caught by them, you ain't gonna see your dad. Yeah, I was more trying to persuade her than intimidate her. But sure, I will intimidate the child.
Repeat the phrase that you said to the child.
I know it's hard to intimidate.
Oh yeah, she backs away from you. Looks very cowed.
Intimidating a child. What a fucking monster.
Grunk.
But it worked.
Being
I'm
late to a
a
session is
tough
sympathy,
parent.
but it worked.
He is an orc.
Oh my god, I'm never going to hear the end of this.
You were up past your bedtime, and it shows. Eventually, 10 so minutes pass, and the couple of guards come marching up around the corner of the palisade, and they say, "Fine, what holes? What are you talking about?"
Ah, yes. Let us lead you to him.
They come strolling over with some shovels in hand, as well as their spears on the other shoulder. Oh,
Do you need a
bloody
hand
hell.
with that?
No, carry about your business, citizen. Are you citizens? I haven't seen you around the town before.
We are
Also-
mere
Sorry, carry on.
we are mere adventurers, escorting this child back to her father. We have done our duty to you, and we will continue on our way. Good day.
They look the kid up and down. But she's a Vistani. What are you doing with her?
Escorting her to her father.
Just shove her in the woods and let her be. You know they're not lucky. Bring bad omens and stuff.
Then we'll send those bad omens elsewhere.
Such as the holes under your fence.
You certainly wouldn't want something that brings bad omens hanging around near the village, would you?
Well, it's why we kicked them off into the forest. They've got a camp by those weird elves.
Right. And that is why it's best if we bring her to them, rather than leaving her at the edge of the forest here.
I'm sorry, did you say weird elves?
The Dusk Elves. Strahd got mad at them and killed all their women folk. Years ago, they say. Only the men left now. Very
See.
sullen folk. You get the odd weird one now and again, but there aren't very many of them left. We don't have no truck with them. Don't trust them. Besides, Strahd's goons, them Vistani, are watching over. He looks at the kid. Yeah, we know all about you. Looking after the Strahd's interests. That damned count. Prince of Valovia, not mine. I believe in the Burgermeister. All be well.
All will
Long
be
as you
well.
get-
All
long as you get
all
her out of
will.
here. And they get to shoveling and leave you about your day.
Alright, let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay, so you continue travelling down along the fence until you get to the road. You see a few more deserted cottages than you'd seen before, since you've not been around this side of the town yet. There are a few people shuffling around in odd attire, robes of a sort, chanting about it. The end is nigh, and things are coming to an end, and they don't seem to welcome into the town. And they keep a distance, sort of by this part of the road, but a few feet away from the gate. And they're carrying various placards of, the end is coming soon.
Could I, you said placards?
Yeah, sort of billboards on their chests and things. Bits of wood with paint, sort of black tar paint painted, like, words on there.
What could I see, like, could I see if I recognize this sort of, like, oh, fuck my brain. This sort of a cultist, if I recognize this sort of cultist behavior before.
Sure, make a religion check. Just seems like crazy rabble rousers looking to spread doom and gloom.
Yep.
They don't seem to pay much attention to anyone. They're just causing trouble out and around the edge of the city, the village. Do you guys interact with them anymore, or do you just walk past, giving them their sort of wide shoulder, or wide berth, rather?
Gwen is thinking of just going to the camp.
Okay, you certainly, if you want to just press on as quickly as possible, you certainly can. Did anyone else want to do anything with the weird doomsday cultists at the end of the village?
No, they seem happy being doomed.
Okay, you start making your way to the forest. It's about, you set off early in the morning when you got to the lake, didn't you? So this would be a few hours, so 10, 11 o'clock. And it's a bit misty and foggy, a little bit of rain, but not much. But it's not a particularly bright day, and you start working your way through the somewhat obscure forest and get to the edge. And what's everyone's passive perception?
11?
16.
10.
18.
13.
16.
Okay, so Church would notice some of the Dusk Elves sat in the edge of the forest looking out at the village.
Whereabouts, like the side of us somewhere?
Yeah, off to the sides of the road. They look very glum and expressionless, seemingly watching and waiting.
After the party makes it like beyond the tree line and in there, Church will stop the party, and he'll turn around and he'll point to the back where we had just came from. The Dusk Elves seem to be watching, perhaps waiting. Should I investigate? Or show you where they are?
I wonder where they were earlier. If we were here earlier and we didn't see them.
Church will Church will walk next to Crawl, and he'll like point directly towards the tree line where he had seen them hiding. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they were actually here earlier.
He raises a good point.
You know, we saw signs of them, but we didn't actually see the Dusk Elves themselves.
Well, I see them.
It could be worth asking them maybe where they were. Maybe you should investigate.
I think it is unfair to keep this child away from her father, no matter how despicable a man he is.
Church will just shrug and continue on the way we're heading.
Okay, you eventually get to the crossroads. Nothing much is happening here. The rain has soddened a lot of the tracks that have gone through here, so it's hard to read them. But there's been signs of movement across this T-junction. Are you taking the closer road or the further road to get to the Vistani camp? So this one or this one?
Might as well take the direct route.
Okay, so you head over to here and start heading down this way. There is a familiar, unpleasant sap-like smell coming from the east of you right now, similar to the tree blights you fought before. There is an unpleasant odor of something wrong with the tree, as if it's rotting and changed somehow.
Would Gwen be able to smell it, see if she recognizes exactly where she smelled it before?
In the battle with the tree, not the tree, into the tree blight, as well as the twig blights.
Well,
A very similar over.
Well, in that case, Gwen is going to put herself between what she perceives to be the source of the smell and Annabelle.
Okay.
Do you think we should investigate, or maybe we should drop her off at back at her camp and then come back?
It is entirely up to you guys.
It would be foolish to pursue such a creature with a young child behind us, or in our midst.
Might as well head towards the camp then. Maybe we can come back and deal with it.
One thing at a time.
Okay, so we're going to pace ourselves in regards to what we're doing. So you hurriedly, are you running? Are you just a fast walk? So narrate to me how you're proceeding down the road.
Gwen would be trying to, she wouldn't be running, but she would be trying to make sure that Annabelle moves more quickly than her previous meandering.
Okay. She's still keeping a good arm's length away from Grunk at all times. She doesn't like that he shouted at her. Well, said mean things to her. But she, keeps a hand clasped in yours and keeps following along the nice lady. And you eventually make it to the clearing. The foul smell stops around this bend in the road, and it seems to wane off. And you make it to the Vistani camp, and I'll take you back there. And you come trotting up the hill as before, and arrive at the same places you were left off last time, because I'm not going to bother moving them. The last night's festivities are still seen laid about the place, and it appears they have run out of wine. There are no full wine casks anywhere. These all seem empty and tapped.
Must have been quite a party.
One to rival Church and Grunk themselves.
Church is quite the drinker.
I wonder what the DC for sliding a sleight of hand and an entire cask would be.
Depends if you've got any magic on you or not, I suppose. If you've got like a bag of holding, that'd be a bit easier. So, Arabelle quickly unclasps her hand from you and goes running off up the hill. And she runs up to her daddy, Luvash, and starts just crying and holding on to him. And I'll go drag her back on there so she can be faithfully reunited with her dad. Alexei is looking much better. He's still in the tent, doing menial tasks and things. But Arabelle's very happy to be back at home, and Luvash is beaming.
There you go, one daughter.
I didn't think you had it in you. Where was she?
About to be, well, Just barely touching her leg. One of the stupid locals.
He growls. One of the locals tried to throw my daughter in the lake.
The fellow didn't seem particularly intelligent, and he had the reputation of being the town drunk. Claimed that it was lucky.
Apparently named Buddha or something, what we've heard.
Well, his and his own will have something to say about it in the night when we get a hold of him.
You would have to scour the lake for that.
You did him in? Oh, my friend.
Wait,
Twas not
I
I.
didn't mean to do it, but it kind of just happened.
We were going to bring him back to you alive, but, you know.
Are you sure? Because when I seen him, I didn't recognize him. His face was completely smashed in.
I put a little more force than I thought I did behind that swing. I just wanted to knock him out.
You knocked him out.
Luvash is rubbing his hands at hearing this, going, good, he paid dearly for daring to steal my beloved daughter. These bloody Valachians, they deserve all the pain and misery that Strahd can throw at them. But come, my friends, I owe you a reward for your helping of my daughter, rescuing my precious. And he stalks over to one of the caravans. With his daughter in tow. I believe it's this one up here. And he unlocks the back of it, and there is various treasures inside. There's a large wooden chest, an iron chest, a large onyx jewellery box, a wooden throne with various bits of gold inlay and decorative stone, a rolled up 10-foot square foot rug with an exquisite unicorn motif, and a small wooden box.
This is for us.
Not everything, but I can surely part with some of these treasures for you. Do you need cold hard cash, or do you want something more decorative? Or this throne, or this rug? I do not know your circumstances, so I do not know best how to help you, but I must reward you in some way.
Gwen would answer, I wish not to trouble you too much, but I believe a small trinket would be appropriate. Perhaps that small chest? Or that small box?
This contains 12 of my finest potions.
Yes, if you could bear to part with it, I'm sure it would be of great benefit to us as we continue our journey.
But you don't even know what these elixirs do, my friend.
Would I be mistaken to believe that you would not share this knowledge with us?
Of course I would, of course. They are invigorating tonics that the Vistani use. It keeps us going through the arduous of the fog and the cold. Though they do have a price for their drinking.
And what, pray tell?
A great lethargy sometime later after drinking. They last a while, but eventually the crash comes.
This does appear to be a great boon to our... It will be of great boon to our party as we journey. I would ask for those potions, if you please.
Okay. There are 12 in there. So you can each get 2 if you want.
Sure.
Half a pound each?
No, they're magical, so they don't really weigh anything. And to remind you of the exhaustion mechanic, once you're up to 2 levels of exhaustion, your speed is halved. 1 level of exhaustion gives you disadvantage on all ability checks. So if you're trying to, say, steal someone's wallet using sleight of hand, this would be a disadvantage.
Would you not be willing to part way with maybe some money as well? I mean, we did that man in for you, as you said.
Make a persuasion check at advantage. Of course. You need financial recompense for bringing my daughter back so safe and sound. Oh, look, she's not even crying. And the little Arabelle sticks her tongue out at her father. And he hefts the iron chest into your hands, and it contains 650 gold pieces.
Wow. That's very generous of you.
Is the iron chest itself worth anything?
It's a chest made of iron. It's quite heavy. It weighs
You're asking
60
the wrong
pounds.
questions.
Well, the iron chest, when it's full of gold, it weighs 60 pounds, so carrying it is going to be a bit of a pain in the arse unless you empty it. You can just take the gold if you want to. Up to you.
That sounds like the better route. 10 gold
Yeah,
pieces.
considering all my money got stolen by some kids. Oh yeah. Well,
The kids were trying to grab his wallet, but the teddy bear thought this was, oh, he's making friends, and starts doling out his money. The teddy bear's nowhere to be seen.
I left that bitch in the crowd.
I thought it showed up in the Blinskis and climbed back to Grunk's backpack.
Nope. It was in Blinsky's, but it's not quite back in his backpack yet. It's stalking him.
I added the 650 to the party inventory.
Very good of you.
I have to ask, could you tell us more about this rug?
He waggles his eyes and says, oh, it's from far-off places woven by the most mysterious of seamstresses. As haunting as the night, as exquisite as the day. Threaded with unicorn fur and all manner of mysterious dyes.
I've never seen a unicorn, but I've heard stories.
He would unroll it. It's about 10 foot square, and it has a really well-made looking unicorn. It's rearing up and pointing at the moon with its horn, and there's various emerald-looking grasses at its feet.
Ah, it's beautiful.
You could try selling it to this guy.
Does he have more money?
He has numerous chests in there's these main chests. There's another large wooden chest in there. He might have more money.
I mean, if he's not going to try to fleece us like the guy in town did, don't see why not. Couldn't hurt to at least ask him if he'd be interested in buying it.
Make a persuasion check or narrate to me how you're trying to sell it to him. Give me your sales pitch, Moira.
She shoves the patch of gold into her, or the pouch of gold into the bag of holding, and while she's rummaging around in it, she'll pull out a platinum necklace and ask him, "Oh, we found," and we'll tell him that, "Oh, we found this a while back. Would you be interested in buying it?"
He raises an eyebrow. Found or took? This has the marks of something very old from Boravia.
We found it in an abandoned house. A house that was trying to kill us at every turn, but it was abandoned.
How was it trying to kill you if it was abandoned? These things don't make sense, my friend.
Ghosts, traps, possessed armor.
When you mention ghosts, he looks at it quite fearfully. It is not good to disturb the belongings of the dead. They have a habit of coming back and taking what is theirs.
All right. I didn't think there'd be harm in asking, but she'll put it away.
I think Gwen, seeing this, will try and loosen his tongue a little by offering one of those vials of laughter we picked up a while back. Say, it appears your spirits have run to their last drop. We have brought ourselves a little bit of merriment in a vial. Perhaps this could bring you to make you more, that you could be persuaded to enjoy.
You're telling him to take drugs. Interesting.
She's not taking them.
You're telling him to, though. Make a persuasion check.
Okay, am I the only one who remembers this laughter potion? Like, seriously.
It might have been something you picked up and you kept.
He would say thank you, but no, just spirits and wine for me.
Well, that is a shame. But I hope that you keep a closer eye on your daughter. It is a dangerous time, after all.
He bristles at this and says, "It was not my fault my daughter went missing. It was Alexei and this Bluto character you speak of, stealing away precious children from the Vistani."
All right. Gwen's not going to answer to that.
Okay, so you're leaving that matter hanging. Once the business is concluded and the trade is concluded, he says, one of the Dusk Elves. I believe he wanted to speak with you. He has seen you wandering around in the woods. We are here to protect them, after all, so I am at duty to send his messages your way.
We did see them on our way in. I guess we'll encounter them again on our way out.
His name is Casimir. He lives to the south of the hill. Down over here, he points. And I'll BRB 1 second.
I was looking around like, what the fuck? Where? I didn't realize everybody went back outside.
Oh yeah, you went to unlock the caravan, right? We need to talk about this rug.
Okay, sorry about that. Yes, Casimir the Dusk Elf. He would say this Casimir is the leader of them, Casimir Velikov. Does the party go and see him? He's asked to speak to you.
Why not?
I'll ask this question like out of character. Say if two of the party were interested in taking that unicorn rug, would it be possible for us to fashion some sort of cape out of it?
From a rug? A very peculiar one, yeah. There's enough room on it to
But
tie
it
it
could
around
be
your neck.
done.
There's got to be a tailor.
I know what you're trying to do, and no, that is a bad idea.
You want to rob the Vistani, is what I'm hearing.
No, we don't rob them. We just want that rug.
If you want to buy it, you can try to.
Just remember, you don't have any money.
Surely some of that gigantic chest is rightfully mine.
We haven't split it yet. If you want to split it now, I guess we could.
Fine, I won't buy the unicorn rug.
You can even quite how much it's going to cost. You can always get money later and come back.
That gives me time to win round everyone else.
Exactly. So before you leave, you're turning to Luvash and asking him how much the unicorn rug is worth?
No, we'll go straight to the elf.
You can
If
take
everyone
some
else wants
autonomy,
to.
Grunk. There's no problem here. If you think Grunk would be interested in this thing and would ask about it, go ahead. Play your character.
He'll just. I'll inquire how much it is on the way out. Yeah.
He would look at the rug, spit on his hand, open it up, and grab it behind and go, "For you, my friend, 750. 750 gold pieces. I like you. You rescued my daughter."
Grunk will grunt and say, "I'll be back," before following the party out of the encampment.
Okay. So I'll drag you all down to the south. Oh, Gwendolyn as well. Who am I missing?
Church, Turtle Man.
Oh, that's Crawl. So you should see a elven hovel with actually a few more guards outside than usual. Rather than just the odd one, there is three sat talking outside of it. And as you approach, they look up and yell for Casimir. They look a bit sullen and they're in grey cloaks, and their angular features are staring quite prominently in the sun, with flowing hair half hidden underneath their cloaks, quite dynamic and almost beautiful looking, but very sad. And Casimir emerges from the hovel. A very stern-faced looking fellow. He is currently whittling a wooden statuette. It appears to be of some elven deity. You can make a religion check if you like, if you think you'd know anything about elven deities.
I don't know about elven deities, but paladins know sort of stuff about religion-y bits, don't they?
Yeah, you can certainly pull that into that.
If only I could justify having advantage.
Moira is not particularly religious looking at her background, I wouldn't say.
Given Gwen's background, would she be able to pull a religion check as well, or?
Sure, if you think you might know something about elven deities.
Apparently Gwen knows about elven deities.
Okay, so you would get some curious thoughts about what this one is. This would be Erevan Il Sere, the god of trickery, mischief, and rogues. I'll put that in chat for you.
Since we find out it's actually just a picture of church.
Be amusing if it was, but no. Things of this nature are whittled to puzzle out dreams and secrets. The man looks a bit sleep deprived, and he's constantly whittling away at this. As you see the door close in the back, you see there's a number of these little statuettes lining the walls. I'll move the dark line so you can see that.
I don't think Gwen would share any of this knowledge with the rest of the party right now. She has some very strong views about the kinds of gods who promote trickery.
And he says to you, I have seen you in the woods stalking my people. I've come to ask that you hold us no ill will if we watch you back. The forests and the menacing form of Strahd is near. I have seen visions and dreams sent by my dead sister. She troubles me. She mentions your descriptions and all manner of terrible things royal in the future, in the haze of what is to come.
What is to come?
You are to either topple or succumb to Strahd, extending out his power beyond this realm, or to banish him forever.
The latter then, hopefully.
Indeed. He shakes his head a bit. I do not know if you have the strength yet to do so. You have spoken to the Vistani, yes? You have been guided by their strange visions.
They believe it is possible to lift the curse from Strahd.
He sneers. There is no way to lift a curse from a monster that is a monster. He has revealed his true nature. But he was not always a monster. There is some pact or curse that afflicts him and, as such, Barovia.
Do you know of it?
Petrina, my sister, whose spirit languishes in the catacombs beneath Ravenloft, whispers to me in the night, telling me terrible things of an amber temple. A place where Strahd, in life, bound himself to something and cursed us all.
So maybe we're meant to go there and find whatever he bound himself to.
Hold on. Didn't Blinsky mention was it an amber throne or a coffin?
Blinsky, a fool in the town.
Yes. He mentioned, I can't quite recall anymore, but he mentioned something about this coffin or a throne or something along those lines. I think he said that he'd pay handsomely for it.
Blinsky mentioned a mechanical man, a automaton.
Was it?
Yes.
I thought we said it was a. Oh yeah, because we said it would be church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. An automaton crafted by his late master, whom he has attempted to emulate, but has failed miserably.
Correct.
Maybe I'm just thinking of Coffin because he's a fucking spooky vampire man.
Not a bad thing to think about.
Are you saying Plinsky's a vampire?
No. Blinsky's not.
Just say, what a plot twist.
Turns out he's the head vampire.
He's actually Strahd.
And he has Piccolo as his enforcer.
Two of the greatest treasures: a unicorn carpet used as a cloak and a little monkey in a tutu. Wonderful.
This is the end goal for me.
It's your final build. Yes, Casimir is saying how he believes there is this temple, somewhat nestled in the far-off reaches of Barovia, that Strahd has been to, and he thinks that there is something potentially hidden there. You can make insight checks if you think he's telling the truth or not. Okay, Crawl would think that he's holding something back. The rest of you think he's being pretty honest and telling you that, yes, his dead sister is telling him strange things in the night.
I believe there's more to the story than what she's telling us.
He looks a bit nervous and looks between his guards and thinks, why would I hold anything back from you? You're strangers in this land. I have nothing to gain from deceiving you.
And yet, because we are strangers, you have nothing to lose either. Please, if you would like us to assist you in calming your nightmares, let us know all that we must know.
Make a persuasion check. He would relent and say, I think in this amber temple is a way to return my sister back to life. The familial bond is strong, and there are no women in the Dusk Elf Ring village. She would be the last chance at my people at re-establishing ourselves.
I mean, mathematically, no. You'd need at least 1,000 people, unless elves magically do that whole thing where bacteria split off. This man would be talking about a lot of incest.
Well, the males aren't related to him.
No, but there's only one female. Eventually, the crossing of the ancestral family things, that's a dodgy path to go down for some already pretty fucked up elves.
Yes, they are fucked up elves. He may or may not be in love with his sister.
Oh no.
I think Gwen's. Please go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think Gwen's more disgusted by the idea that he hopes to use necromancy.
It might not be necromancy.
He said bring
There-
her back. It might be godly.
Yeah, there are more ways to resurrect someone than for necromancy.
Plus, elf. He could be coming out with some weird things. Weird elven gods.
The elf gods are very strange and connected to the Feywild. So you've all heard this bit of a bombshell that he wants to use the thing that Strahd has struck a bargain with or a pact with to bring back his dead sister.
Do you not think that having a pact with something that, well, just look at this place. It's drab, it's dreary, and almost as cursed and dark as the Lord Strahd himself. Do you think it'd be wise?
He says in an unflinching tone, I would do anything for my sister and anything for my people.
Understood. But then do you know what we should look for?
He marks it on your map. West of Mount Gakis, there is a old chiseled temple deep in the hills. The Amber Temple, they call it. Or my sister spoke to me and told me of it. In there, something lies of great import that could unseal the doom of Barovia. And I can take you to the map and show you where it is if you want me to.
Yeah, might as well.
Yes, please.
Okay. Down there. Quite a ways away from where you currently are.
Jesus.
Oh, damn.
But not very far as the bat flies.
I see. So it's the mine we identified a while back.
Yes.
Ah.
That is the entrance to the Amber Temple. But it is a ways away from the Wizard's Winery, where you were headed to next, or where you've been asked to go, or told to go. And on the way there is Argonovast, the dragon house you've heard of, and the abandoned town, a ways past the bridge.
So I suppose technically our first stop, if we wanted to, would be Dragon House.
You have been told not to go there.
But when has our party ever listened to rules?
You are indeed a very much fuck the police kind of group.
We've been speculating that the Dragon House might have like a Draco Lich or an undead dragon in it.
And that means loot.
That
It
means
also-
gold for your carpets.
Exactly, I need my carpet.
It also means potentially horrible death.
It's worth it for the rug.
That's worth.
Yep. We got to get that rug.
One monkey and one rug. Coming right up.
Is this how you intended to own this campaign going, Tiny? The great hunt for a rug and a monkey?
I gave up sort of trying to predict you guys a long time ago. It's always gone a bit weird in terms of the directions you take.
My crap tier meme strikes again.
So from Valaki to the Dragon House, to the abandoned town, to the Ember Temple, and then back around to the winery.
That's the route you want to take?
We should probably do the winery first, due to it sounded like whatever was happening there was a time-sensitive issue. We are also doing the winery job as a favor because, someone set fire to their inn.
Hey, it
Right.
wasn't my fault people tried to eat people pie. So somebody shouldn't have been trying to eat children.
I mean, but despite any of that, anyway, the winery's pretty far away, and even if we don't go down to the Amber Temple, like the house and like this is on the way, and like we could even go here because there's that ruins that Crawl wanted to go to.
There's also the town of Kresik, further to the west, if you don't want to leave Irina and Ismark here.
So
Oh yeah, true. We could take them and the kid whose name I've forgotten.
Lucian.
That's the one. I was gonna say Lucifer, but that definitely wasn't right.
Well, you
Never.
still have the black needles you've not identified yet.
Alright, the only thing I did with those was an Arcana check, and all I could tell was that there was something inherently off with them.
Well,
You go first.
we do have to meet with the Burgermeister, and there is a church here as well, so I'm sure we could probably ask for them to be identified.
I can identify them myself, I just need some time.
Which we won't have if we decide to trek to the Dragon House.
I mean, it should only take 10 minutes or so.
I'll do it now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, I guess I'll do that when you guys decide what you're gonna do. So I will begin ritual cast and identify.
You're doing this in front of the elf.
No, it'd probably be best if we did this like just outside of camp. Maybe on the road at the mouth, or at like the edge of the forest before we get into the camp area.
Well,
Okay.
it sounds like regardless we're going sort of this way. So should we just sort of start going this way and then we can like let Moira do her thing and then see like if we get to here and there's some funky stuff going on, we can decide which way we want to go.
So you're heading out of Valaki and just leaving Lucian and Irene and Ismark in the inn.
Yeah, the thing is, now that there's wolves trying to break into Valaki, it might not be safe for them in there anymore. As Strahd might be trying to get to them directly, so maybe it would be safer to move them over to Kresik.
So go to Kresik first and then sort of work our way back and go to like, the winery and then wherever else we want to go.
Right. Kresik first and then down to the winery to take care of that quickly.
Yeah, rather than go with winery as our last place, go with it as our second place.
I think Gwen would be more in character if she were to insist we see the Burgermeister first.
Okay, so you're trying to apply leverage to the party, saying, no, we must abide by the rules of courtesy and attend to the
Basically.
Burgermeister. Okay. How does the party respond as you sort of... By this point, you've headed away from the Dusk Elves, I take it.
The same Burgermaster who we saw ride away with someone strapped to the horse and burn a living creature inside a ball of fire.
Yeah, that guy.
That is the correct person. Now, you may not care for the matters of etiquette, but I ask you, if you were to slight him, would you be willing to follow his horse?
I don't think it would matter if he was willing or not.
At the very least, given the untoward intentions of the leader of the gods, it is best to determine whether there is anything we can do to ensure justice prevails in Vallaki.
She makes her argument quite succinctly. Does anyone choose to listen to Gwen?
It probably would be a good idea to see the Burgermeister, even if he is kind of angry at us.
Yeah.
Guess so.
Okay, so we've decided to see the Burgermeister, and we're doing the identification as we leave the Dusk Elf camp. So you're heading actually back towards Vallaki. So Moira sits down and pulls out the black needles. They feel greasy and electric in her hands, and she starts to identify them. Please flash the spell for me. You notice that your pearl go black as you start casting the spell. It goes from the usual white pearlescent to a obsidian-looking color of glassy darkness.
I don't have a pearl, I just have the focus.
Okay then, the focus would change to a darker shade than you had previously been expected.
Well, that's interesting.
You would learn that these are conjured items, and that they are currently affected by a spell of soul searching. They are designed to prick an individual and cause them quite a severe amount of pain, and it determines whether or not the individual has a soul.
Interesting.
You can make an Arcana check from this to sort of determine what you think they were doing or using them for. You would think that they are pricking little boys and girls to see who has the sort of soul that is best made into a pie. Also, to see if some people have a soul or not, as it seems that some Barovians are not what they seem to be. Some may just be shadows of people, not really there.
Interesting. She'll relay this to the rest of the party.
And you think that you can do the same with these needles to people, but it may come at a cost.
It'd be fine if we didn't actually jab anyone with these.
Maybe you can use them as arrows.
Or bolts, perhaps.
Very much. So they could certainly be adhered to shafts and fired at people.
Something about that just seems evil. I also need to figure out where the hell I put them down. Because they're not in the party loot, and it doesn't look like they're in my inventory.
That's because I was carrying them.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Noller has them.
Alright.
Do you give them back to Nulla, or do you keep them?
Yeah, she'll hand them back to Noller. She'd advise strongly against using it because we don't know what would happen. But if he wants to keep holding on to him, he can.
We can get them, well, unconjured. However, that would be done.
If they were conjured using similar magic to the magic I used, then damaging them should be enough.
Yeah, that would be correct.
Then, considering he had them wrapped up in some cloth before, he'll wrap them back up and place them on, I don't know, maybe a log or a stone or something flat,
Mhm.
and we'll hit them with his silvered mace or monster.
Okay, give me an attack roll. The 10, well, yeah, the 10 would glance off them. You wouldn't get advantage on these. You feel a powerful snap as the air crackles and hums around them as your mace comes close to them and the mace bounces away. The cloth is shredded, and was it 6 needles I gave you?
7.
7. The 7 needles form a small symbol in the stone and start circling around on points, so it's as if they're stood up.
Myra, this is your expertise, right?
I will do an Arcana check to see what that is. Or would it be a different kind of check?
No Arcana check. They are trying to summon something to protect themselves.
Oh no. They seem to have had defensive magic woven into them. They're trying to summon something.
Could try hit him again?
You certainly can.
I can try and hit them if you want me to try.
That's a
Never
pretty good
mind.
hit.
Does it hit him, Tiny?
A 27 does hit. And some of them crack. And you hear the piercing wail of children emerge from as they snap. And the rest of the other 4 start spinning faster.
Hit them again.
Yeah, we'll try and hit them again.
A 14 will not hit. And they begin arcing and crackling between them with dark lightning.
Would Gwen be able to get in and try and stop this?
How close would you have been to Nulla trying to destroy something, bearing in mind your relationship with each other?
I'd say about 25 feet away.
Sure, you can make an attack. Go ahead. 19 will also hit. And you destroy another 2 of the needles, so the 2 left are spinning up together, and they are now about 5 foot in the air, spinning around, facing each other, and they go darting towards Nulla and Gwen. Please make dexterity saving throws. DC is 16.
Ooh, I have inspiration. Can I reroll that?
You certainly can.
Oh no.
Oof.
So a regular shield's AC is 2, right?
2, yes.
Darn, falls just short.
So the needle punches through the shield as you try to hold up, and it catches you in the collarbone. Another, yours catches you right in the heart.
Oh, my poor heart.
And you fall down unconscious, and you are racked with terrible pains, and you feel like from the tips of your toes a lightning like crackle going through you all the way to the top of your head, and you feel something being pulled almost out of you.
Can I dive in and pull it out of his chest?
You certainly can. Make an athletics check. DC is 18.
Is that athletics?
Athletics, yes. You grab your hand onto the needle and you feel it not wanting to budge. You feel strange images of women with missing teeth and cackling faces circling through your head as you grab a hold of the needle.
Can I persevere and keep pulling?
You certainly can.
Do you want me to re-roll again, or
Yes, please, this time with disadvantage. Yes, you do not find any purchase on the needle and your hand slips away, covered in sweat and a red liquid appearing in your palm as small lesions appear in your hand. Gwen, yours is not so severe, but you do feel it wrenching into the bone and you feel something tugging at your head and your psyche and trying to draw something away from you.
Would I be able to try and pull it out of my collarbone?
Sure.
Athletics check DC 18.
Correct. You do not manage to. You get a better grip, and again, your hand starts having this oily black substance, and small lesions appear even through your armor. You feel blisters emerge and pop on your hand, and you would all see who've been touching the needles. This particular person in your faces, in your mental images.
She looks kind of like a dragon.
The children of Baravia are mine and my sons alone. Nothing of yours to interfere with. Be gone. Take these needles and die. Die, I say.
We will not die. Your son will go down.
Gwen. Go ahead, Blade.
Before anything more happens, would I be able to attempt myself using a pair of pliers from the Thieves' Tools?
Do you have some Thieves' Tools?
We found a second set in the Durst Manor, didn't we?
You did. Are you the one carrying them?
I think I added it to my inventory. Either that or it's in the... No, it's in my inventory. So yeah, I'm carrying them.
Okay, you can make a sleight of hand check at DC 14. Who are you doing it to first? Well, it'll be DC 12 for Gwen because it's a bit easier to get to it. For Nulla, it'll be DC 14.
Noller's situation looks worse, so I'll try him first.
Yeah, you managed to pull the large needle out of his chest, and the end seems to be dripping away and evaporating.
Alright, I'm gonna try with Gwen now.
He would come to with a scream.
More of a roar.
Or a roar.
can we hear the roll?
Easy there, you're alright now. Crawl, could you patch him up? I believe you know something about medicine. I'll deal with Gwen now.
I will.
Oh no.
Okay, roll a D100.
Can I give Moira my inspiration?
You've used yours, haven't you?
No, that was no.
You rolled your athletics check. Oh no, yeah, it's the second attempt. Yeah, if you want to give you an inspiration, you certainly can.
I shall.
Okay, Moira, you can re-roll without using that one. Yeah, you managed to pull out the needle, and again, it's evaporating and disappearing into smoke as it's pulled out.
Gwen would still be in pain, and she'd be... What? She'd be saying, "What evil have you awoken?"
Are the needles are they just on the floor smoking, or are they disintegrated completely?
They're disintegrating and smoking and turning into sort of ashes in the air that are twisting away in the wind and evaporating.
So that we don't need to destroy. They are, in all senses, destroyed.
Yes, they are destroyed
Okay.
for purposes of well, these ones are. Those of you who saw the image can make a history check or a religion check at DC 20.
Would I be able... Since I was reading those history books, would I get advantage on this?
Sure, you may have heard of this person in fairy tales.
Who of us saw this? Just the ones that.
The ones that got stabbed and handled the needle. So Grunk would have saw a strange wizened old lady and would be very confused. Nulla would again see a wizened old lady of some decrepitude. Gwendolyn would see a little old lady who looks like a magic user from what she's seen and the way she was talking and moving.
Would I have been considered handling the needles for this check?
You specified you're using some thieves' tools to not touch them.
Alright. So this was prior to. So this was after I handed them over back to Uller. Alright.
You would have had them on the cloth when waving your hands over them with identify, because you wouldn't really touch these things. Or you try not to, I'd imagine.
Yep, alright.
And the defensive magics weren't activated until Nulla struck them. You can make a medicine check if you'd like, Kroll.
Sure.
This wound is close to some very powerful magics.
I see.
It is akin to a 7th or 6th, 8th level spell, and you would know of these as because you're a druid, but you would be able to cast them. So you'd realize this is some very, very powerful conjuration magic.
Well, I'll let the rest of the party know that while I'm patching Noller up. That whatever made these is a very powerful spellcaster.
There are traces of necromancy involved with this spell. There are certainly necrotic parts of where they've been stabbed. So you would know that it's a powerful spell of 7th level or higher, and it involves necromancy magic.
Upon hearing Crawl mention the strength of the magic involved, Gwen would mention that she saw a vision of some wizened magic user who threatened them, or threatened her with death and destruction for getting involved in the magics of Barovia.
How does the party respond? You can describe it to Church, maybe. You may know.
She was an old crone. Maybe as her age, I know not. Perhaps as old as Baldur's Gate itself. And she said that the children of Barovia and all who live within it are the property of her and her son.
Church, would you like to try and do a religion or history check to try and figure out who this person is from the description you got?
Yeah. Religion.
You would think it's related in some way to the goddess Mother Night, the goddess of hags and witches.
The first, the most powerful. The one they call their goddess. Actually, I already fucked that up. They call her their goddess. I didn't get a name though.
Mother Night.
Mother
is the
Night.
goddess.
Okay, so he'll describe, like, he'll also give her name as well. I thought Mother Night was like a descriptor.
Kind of. Mother Night is the progenitor of the hags and the various demons and witches involved with them, so things like night trolls and so on. And it stalks around, imbuing things with fell magics and longevity beyond that which people should have.
Wait, so this thing probably still exists and is walking around?
It's a god, so it's cut off from the Baravia, because it is of a different realm. But this person that's been described to you is clearly a practitioner and worshipper of Mother Night, and has been rewarded for her devotion with this longevity and this crone-like demeanor.
Church will describe Mother Night and her disassociation from the realm, but also relationship with this crone.
You would know that she would engage in secret rites involving the bathing in the blood of beasts and other things on nights of the new moon to retain her longevity. These sorts of things, a damning will corrupt your soul to Mother Night very rapidly. So this is...
That's disgusting.
This person is pretty grim looking. But you have found out the secret of the needles and seemingly the creator.
Gwen would probably voice, given that she feels her body and her collarbone is tainted by the strength of the necromancy, that we should find someone to purify us, as none of us have, or to her knowledge, none of us have the sufficient ability to purify such a such a strong level of necromancy.
You raise a very good point. You don't know if there's any lingering effects of this necromantic magic having entered your bodies and done something to you.
Lest we find that this dark magic has lasting effects like those pies, and further divide us from our humanity, we should go to the town and seek the cleansing of the priest.
So you're heading to the church now? Okay.
Well, if the party wants it.
Well, I mean, if you guys are fucking stabbed with these goddamn needles, I think it would be a good idea to try to get rid of this dark magic. That would be wonderful.
Okay, so we're heading to the church instead. We haven't been here yet.
Burgermeister can wait.
And the church is right on the way from the direction we're coming anyway.
Besides, Burgermeister has already been waiting for 3 hours.
Festival of a blazing disaster. Okay, so you guys start heading through the forest. Again, that same sickly, rotten smell is coming. A bit more faint this time from the east in this sort of copse of forest area. But I'm assuming you're proceeding past it as quickly as possible. Some of you limping, some of you not so in good shape. Some of you just hurrying along. Or you can go headlong into it. Up to you guys.
What's the worst that could happen?
You die.
Mm, I think Gwen. Wait a second. Let me look at the map. East, so it's heading away from the Vistani camp, right?
That's correct. The smell is faint at present.
Gwen, right now, her impulse is telling her that this may be a danger to Annabelle, but she's not, because the smell's faint, she's not going to voice that just yet.
Okay, so you're honest and you're heading past there. So it'll get to about 1 o'clock by the time you get back to the village. And the guards let you in as they've seen you walking past before. The strange doomsday cultists are nowhere to be seen.
Certainly left in a hurry. We haven't been gone that long.
You can talk to the guards about it if you want to. They've been stood here most of the day.
Yeah, I guess on our way through we can ask about where the cultists were, the Doomsday cultists went. We just saw them a little while ago.
They went back into the town. We let them in. There's not a reason to keep them outside, but there's been some commotion at the church.
We're on our way there now. What kind of commotion?
Father Petrovich is, well, he doesn't seem happy. There's plenty of scared adults and children around the church right now. Something about, well, something wrong with St. Andrew's protection.
I guess we should go.
He waves you in and says, try to avoid the strange cultists, the Doomsday Boys. They're not right in the head. They live outside of town. They mustn't get the same... Well, they don't think all is well like we do.
Then
But
why are they allowed to stay?
Well, friends and family, they just got a bit weird in the head. You wouldn't kick out your cousin, would you? You'd be killing him.
Re-education might be the path forward.
Learn them numbers and things. No, that sort of thing's too fancy for the likes of us.
No, learning that all is well. All is well. All is well.
He nods and brightens up at this re-exclamation of his beliefs in the Burgermeister. You're right, yeah. You should all have a positive attitude. And waves you on in. And you get to church. It's a similar design to the one seen in the town of Baravia. It's a slouching, centuries-old building. The stones have started to bulge a little bit, and the steeple in the back is lined with cracks and stained glass windows to depict various pious-looking saints. And there's a big wrought iron fence enclosing the garden of gravestones. It doesn't look as musty or as mist-shrouded as the previous one in Baravia, but it still has a bit of an air of unease to it being so close to the walls. There is a line of people out the front door trying to get into the church. And they all look kind of scared. Frightened would be the best word to describe them. And there's various old women, children, some of the children still in their flower costumes. And out the front, there is a somewhat harrowed-looking old man, a harrowed young man, carrying a shovel. It looks like the gravedigger, and he's sort of yelling at people to stay in the queue and stay in a line, and that Father Petrovich will see them as soon as possible.
What could so frighten those who believe that all is well?
Are you asking the party, or are you asking one of the people in the church?
I'm making an aside to the party. Yeah.
Maybe they believe not all will be well. This doomsday cult might be getting under their skin.
What else could get under their skin? Who knows? So do you guys wait in the line to get into the church, or do you just brush past them? The only person really forming a line is poor Milivoj.
How long do you think it would take us to get through this line?
A couple of hours.
I think Gwen would probably try talking to the townspeople closest to her and trying to figure out, well, just ask what's happening. Why is everyone suddenly so keen to go to church?
The bones of St. Andrew, the priest who saves us from Strahd, his bones are gone. Father Petrovich says they've been stolen from the church. We're not safe anymore. Strahd will come get us. We need to pray. Pray that the depredations of that terrible beast will leave us alone. All will be well.
Fear not, for we adventurers have experience dealing with such missing protections. Let us through so that we may offer our services to your father Petrovich.
Make a persuasion check at advantage as you're throwing out the term adventurer. Yeah, people start going to one side to let you through. And you eventually get up to the front of the church, and there is a large hole in a stone. Well, in the wooden floorboards of the church, there is a large stone sarcophagus, and underneath the stone sarcophagus, there are wooden boards that have been broken, clearly smashed apart, and there's a large cavity that is empty. And the priest is pacing backwards and forwards, not seeming knowing what to do. He doesn't look up or seemingly notice you as he's pacing around, looking backwards and forwards at the damage that's been done to the church.
Well, maybe if the party is not opposed, Gwen could approach Father Petrovich to talk about this matter.
Do you want the crazy religious fighter to talk to the priest, guys?
Did a good job talking us in here to begin with, so go for it,
fine
Gwen.
with me. Do it to him.
All right. Gwen will walk towards the priest, and she will motion to the sarcophagus and the broken boards and mention, I understand that your church has lost its protecting saint. Was this where he was lain?
Yes, the remains were here under the sarcophagus that rested on top of it. just behind the church's main altar. I don't know who would do this. I mean, I have my thoughts, but I don't know why. Why would anyone desecrate and put us all in jeopardy?
I dare not say who could have done this, but I fear that it may not have been someone of Vallaki. When my party of adventurers and I were passing the palisade, we saw some holes leading underneath, not too far from here.
You think someone? Well, no, there's no way they could get inside. The building was protected by the protection of St. Andral. No foul demon of Strahd could enter here.
If you are not opposed to a group of weary adventurers looking into this matter for the safety of yourself and the people of Vallaki, we could attempt to discover what has happened here.
If you wish to help, that would certainly be a blessing upon us.
So Gwen would motion backwards, back to the party, and ask them non-verbally to come forward. And she would ask a few more questions. When did you discover that St. Andros was missing?
Only a few hours ago.
Was he here when the festivities commenced?
I was at the festival of the Blazing Sun. I did not come into the chapel until early this morning, or late this morning.
And when you last looked at the sarcophagus, St. Andros's tomb was undisturbed?
The day before, yes.
This is strange.
Church, you would realize that the boards have been pried up with a shovel of some sort.
It appears that a tool used to dig graves was the same used to open the boards.
Milovaj. Oh no, not that wayward child.
Who is this you speak of? Sorry, Gwen.
He'd be referring to the gravedigger.
Oh, the guy that's outside that we just seen?
Yes.
Well, I believe we have our first suspect.
It's surprisingly upbeat and very pious for Vallaki. There's none of the strange cultisms of all be well in here. It is actually fairly devout and pious.
Would we recognize what denomination this church is?
Make religion checks, and you may. DC will be 14. Any more for any more?
I thought Nolo was more or less unconscious to a degree after that needle.
Yes, you'd be very, very woozy.
Yeah, he's not so much interested in looking around currently.
Okay. For those of you who did pass the check, it is dedicated to the Morning Lord, god of light, and the sun. Well, partially the sun. There's other gods who claim that, but very much a holy and well-to-do god who believes in the warmth and sanctity of life. Church, roll a d100. See if anything untoward happens. No. You don't cough or sneeze in the holy water or the fountain. But you're in that just normal human name. As we are halfway through the session, should we have a quick 15-minute bio break?
Yeah, we got called to pick up our food as well.
Okay, come back at 35 minutes past. No, 40.
Before I head downstairs, the Morning Lord, does that more or less correlate with Pelor in the Earth realm?
Slapender.
House can tell you everything you know about this god. His last character in D&D was apparently a worshipper. Did we kind of meet this god in the last one? Like, see him for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
He showed up.
One of his planetars did. He was linked to the Azamar of good old house. Popper, that's it, yeah. I also
All
need
right.
my notes to find the name. I'm not that bad.
It's also pretty sad that I didn't actually realize Popro was a guy until like 8 sessions in.
That's okay.
Oh,
The token looked fairly feminine.
Androgynous is the word you're looking for.
Yeah,
Androgynous, that's the
what
word.
I was going for. Yeah,
And it worked, it confused Blade.
nice.
Doesn't take much to do that.
And not like it matters too much. Seeing the way he ran through that cave going after those lady boys. Traps. Yeah, we heard about traps and he came fucking sprinting through the cave.
The whole cave.
Yep, Baldur heard about femboy hooters and he was first in line.
God, what have I done? That's good to hear. You all woken up now?
I'm here.
I too am here.
You've all done your preparatory lines of drugs to wake yourselves up.
Yeah. We're still working on it, but we're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we return to you at the church, speaking to Father Petrovich, and you've decided to enlist yourselves in his help. You've discovered that the floorboards have been torn up by a shovel, and Milovich is outside the gravedigger. Organized people in the queue. You have 2 injured party members who have been affected by high-level necromancy magic, Nulla and Gwen. Gwen, not having the best of times, but not suffering the worst of it. Nulla almost badly struck down due to his inability to dodge and it piercing him right in the heart.
While Gwen is observing the decorations, the decor of the church, and admiring the view of the different religious symbols, would she notice if there had been any sign of... Actually, would she be able to notice if there were any signs of people coming inside into the church from outside? Like to whoever the thief was.
Is there any signs of forced entry? Is that what I'm inferring from that?
Yes, that is what my meandering speech was supposed to say.
Make an investigation roll. Roll a d100. Nothing untoward happens, but you don't see any obvious signs of frosting, like broken windows or knocked down doors. You see a lot of nice frescoes and lovely stained glass. It's a bit old and dilapidated in places, but this is pretty well cared for compared to the one in Bravia.
Just a bit of world building. How much of the iconography would be similar to that dedicated towards Lathander or Pelor?
It'd be very intensely related to the Morning Lord Lathander. There'd be a lot of frescoes and depictions of sunlight and horizons dominated by big bright lights, lots of yellows and blues. And depictions of saints in various pious and prayer-based stances and depictions. There are quite a few Valachians and males, females, and children in the pews waiting and watching, and they're eyeing you curiously as you're doing so.
Then, while the rest of the Gwen would mention to Father Petrovich that she hopes they can continue their investigations outside, but as they were injured by because their paladin had been pierced by a needle sent by some unknown dark threat. She was worried he would not be able to help them with the investigation.
Okay, they will try and help you. They will lay on their hands onto... do you say to Nulla you want to do this first?
Yeah, I mean, Gwen's not happy with Noller, but she knows better than to put her own needs in front of those of someone who almost died.
Okay, so they would attempt the following spell. A puff of some strange powder from his hand wraps and invigorates around the staggering form of Nulla. Would you be sort of sat down, Nulla, or would you be stood up?
It's probably in his pride to try and stand himself, but he'd probably be a bit slumped over in pain.
Okay. The yellow sparkling powder would start flittering towards the hole in your chainmail and start filling it up, and you would feel a warmth spreading about your chest and a lessening of the crackling, greasy pain of what you'd experienced before. And this would continue to spread throughout your body and would last a few seconds.
He'd sort of gasp as a thank you. I've not felt this warm in a while. And he'll, I don't know, he's very thankful to be, I suppose, priests who have done this for him.
Yes. Father Petrovich would slouch a bit, as this would take quite a bit out of him, as he is somewhat an old man.
Oh, he'd try and catch him and offer him a shoulder and... Are you okay?
I am better than you are, son. And would gently pat the wound on your chest, saying, "This will sting for a while still, but you are through the worst of it."
No, I thank you. Horrible, evil things managed to strike me. I appreciate this kindness.
Do you want us to pay for this service, or is us just helping you enough?
Finding the bones is of paramount concern, so that is all the payment I would require.
Alright.
Make a perception check, Gwendolyn, to see if you notice anyone weird. No, not especially. There's a wide variety of people, from old women crying to kids picking their noses in the church, to parents looking scared and afraid, to just individuals holding their hands in prayer. There is one altar boy going backwards and forwards, administering to people, getting them sort of water and things as is needed. But he's quite small and runtish.
All right. So Gwen is going to spend probably about 5 minutes in prayer because she hasn't stepped foot in any house of worship dedicated to a sun god since before leaving the Sword Coast.
Okay. Does anyone else do anything religious whilst we're here? Or anything of note?
Nah, I think Moira's just going to continue to look around.
Okay, that's no problem. Again, you see various fonts and frescoes of devotions on the walls, depicting saints and the stained glass as well. And people still file in and out.
Now that I think of it, we found a couple of deeds at the Durst Manor that we never actually looked at.
That's true.
Pretty far from there, but yeah, better late than never.
Yeah, Moira's going to sit down in an open pew and then take the deeds out from the bag of holding and would I? What am I trying to ask? I would like to see if it's trapped magically, but I don't know if that's just an Arcana check or if I need a specific spell for that.
There is a specific a specific spell to check for traps, but you can do an Arcana check to see if you can sense any magic off it.
Alright. I just don't want to pop them open and immediately get blasted in the face by something.
You don't think there's any magic attached to either of the deeds?
Alright, then she'll open them and see what the deeds are for. We know specifically or the extent of what we know is that it's for a windmill and a house.
The house is for the house in Baravia, the house itself that you saw fill up with water in places, as well as the strange gas. So it's that flooded house in the basement with the shambling mound, and the windmill is for the old bone grinder.
It's
no more.
It's as much as I expected, but somebody might be interested in the property of the bone grinder, and once we get back to Baravia proper, we might be able to find someone who's interested in buying the house.
Just don't tell them it's haunted.
I'm certain that after what we did, it should no longer be haunted.
It's something to consider, yeah.
Hey, maybe once we lift whatever curse is hovering over this place, we can use that as a summer retreat.
Hey, maybe you should see about trading those deeds to for that unicorn rug, or getting enough gold to be able to buy the unicorn rug from them.
I second this approach.
Mm-hmm.
But why would we need a rug?
I don't know. They just want the fucking rug, so we have to have the rug. We need the rug and the monkey.
Because it really ties the room together.
I imagine it's just a guy trying to fleece us, unless it's like a fucking magic carpet of some kind.
Steady on Aladdin.
It doesn't matter if it's cursed. We still want it, apparently.
So, Moira is doing that with the deeds. What is everyone else doing? I know Gwendolyn is praying, and Nulla is receiving some medical attention, or magical medical attention. Is Grunk doing anything in particular while he's in here?
Grunk was kind of just going to stay with Noah, make sure he's alright.
He seems a lot better. The strange golden dust that looks like motes of light flowing into his chest is a bit peculiar, but it seems to be helping him.
Yeah, apart from that, I'm not particularly religious. So I'm quite happy just sort of standing there.
Okay. Church, you feel people are watching you.
Oh, well, that's a shame, because he is currently looking for any more clues of what could have happened to the remains. As far as examining the floorboards towards and across all the exits, windows, the doors. So I would assume if you pick up a corpse, or like were the remains like bagged up or anything? I would assume not.
They were in sacred wrappings, and they were bones by this point. It's been a long time since St. Andrew has been walking around. And people are looking at you pretty interestingly as you're poking around in the open hole beneath the sarcophagus and in front of the altar. Behind the altar, sorry. And you hear the familiar voice of Rictavio asking you, getting into trouble again?
He'll stand up and he'll look to Rictavio. Trouble? No. Trying to assist to stop trouble.
Always such a helpful boy.
Yes, that is right. A normal, human, mortal boy.
I'm sure you'd make your father proud. Don't getting your nose too deep into things you can't handle, though. Keep that in mind. Don't want to see you guys ending up like that poor man yesterday. Well, this morning. This morning, he would say.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The fellow who got tied to the horse and then stabbed by some lunatic in the crowd.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Make a deception check.
He's not even really trying.
Okay, so yes, insight. He gives you a knowing wink.
Church winks back, but you wouldn't be able to tell. Instead, he'll just continue to investigate the inner workings of the church, trying to find any clues as to what happened to this saint.
There'd be some drag mark with your investigation roll before. You'd notice there are some drag marks just at the entrance of the church. It would look like no one broke in.
I think we need to talk to this gravedigger bastard. He's still outside, right?
He's still outside. He looks like the following. And he's holding his big shovel out the front, and he's ushering people in, slowing them down, ushering them in as people come in and out.
Well, Church is going to interrupt to him, calling out to him, and approaching him. Maybe even pulling him off to the side. If he's willing to go away from his post.
He seems happy to leave the duties of attending to the church flock, and he says, "Yeah, what do you want?"
That is a beautiful shovel. May I examine it?
Yeah, he would hold it out, unplussed. Yeah, it's just a boring shovel. It's a boring life here.
Church is going to examine the blade of the shovel for any fresh marks. So, like any dents or dings or anything like that, or scratches that may be fresh, like not filled in with dirt.
The shovel is remarkably dirt-free, and there are a number of dents and dings on it.
You wouldn't happen to know anything that happened earlier in there. Church will point inside of the church, and most specifically to the altar and behind it. Obviously referencing the remains of the saint being missing.
No, I'm just a gravedigger. I don't know anything about it.
Someone with a similar tool walked inside and exhumed the remains.
Wouldn't be me. I would never do something like that. Just live in this boring town. I wouldn't do something stupid. He's very obviously lying. He's sweating bullets.
Let me see how I can approach this next.
He is holding his coin purse in his hands and rubbing it and sort of trying to hide his gaze from yours, as you've said some very clear, incriminating things about it.
What's the guy's name with the crazy arm?
Isaac.
Isaac, that's right. Now, would you prefer to tell me, or would you like to explain yourself to Isaac?
He blanches and nearly pukes up. Make an intimidation check with advantage.
Oh,
Yeah, you scare the piss out of him. It wasn't me. I had to get the money for my brothers and sisters. There's no food in the village. I'm starving. Listen, Henrik offered me loads of money. The coffin maker. He's a crazy bugger. I just thought he wanted it for something weird. I didn't think it would cause us such a problem.
Wait, that's the guy that's the guy with the house that we went into, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Church is going to swipe the the coins from the guy's gold coin. This is stolen, or this is not for you. This is for stolen property and remains of the church. Church is going to take the coins from the man, but he will wave him on and return back into the church.
Don't tell Father Petrovich, please. I don't want to be strung up by the gallows. I just do to feed my brothers and sisters. No food.
Church just ignores the man now, and he'll go back inside and merely wait for his companions. But he will wait, looking a bit as if he's on standby mode for them to finish what they're doing.
Okay. So a few more minutes pass, and Gwendolyn finishes her prayers, and Moira finishes looking through the deeds, and Nulla is fighting fit once again, and Grunk comes out with him. What's Crawl been doing during this time?
I was just trying to, while everyone else was busy, just watch the back, watch the crowd, see if anyone stands out.
Okay, make a perception check. Okay, one particular old lady looks very distressed.
Right? I guess I'll go over to her.
Very sad old woman.
Oh, what's wrong, ma'am?
My son Udo. He is in the Burgermeister's prison. I am praying that he'll be set free.
Oh, what is he accused of doing?
He spoke out against the Burgermeister. He did not think all would be well. Oh, if only he had kept his thoughts to himself. Oh, my poor Udo.
I'm very sorry to hear about him.
And she wails and hollers and rattles her rosaries as hard as she can towards the shrine to the Morning Lord. And she doesn't pay you too much thought apart from that, but she looks very distressed.
This poor woman. We are planning to visit the Burgermeister later. Maybe I could ask about your son.
She would say, "No, you mustn't. You mustn't incur the wrath of the Burgermeister for just the sake of us. The Morning Lord, he will provide. He will save my poor Udo." You mustn't incur his wrath. He is a... She goes quiet. She doesn't want to say clearly what she was thinking as other heads turn to face her. And then the heads turn to you, somewhat accusingly.
Well, I will leave you to your business, I guess. I'll go back toward the altar.
Okay, so you head back towards the altar. You see Church walk out by this point, striding towards something. Do you say anything to Father Petrovich as he's working his wonders on Nulla?
Uh, I guess I'll just stand alongside and watch. I can't do much to help or anything.
Okay, you would see a fairly high level sort of magic being cast and using some quite potent reagents. None of the usual diamond dust that's seen normally, but seemingly the very light around this chapel is being used.
Hmm.
You can make an Arcana check to see if you think you know what's going on with it. Up to you if you want to do that.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
You would think he is sacrificing some of the remaining protections imbued by the bones of Saint Andror to heal Nulla.
Very powerful magic indeed.
Quite a selfless one as well, to give up the remaining protections of the town to heal this poor dragonborn. But after all this is concluded, do you all come back outside to see church, or do you stay in the chapel for other reasons?
I would definitely eventually start to meander out.
Gwen was thinking of waiting until after the party leaves and then asking Father Petrovich if he has a salve or anything that may help her with her wound.
He would hum and ha and say, salves for this kind of thing, not so much, but we can administer similar, if somewhat weaker magics to heal you.
I did not want to worry the others, but I have seen the power of these dark magics, and I would not feel myself prepared if I were not to rid myself of their influences. I would be much obliged if you could help me.
Okay, he would cast Lesser Restoration. And it would ease a lot of what's going on. It wouldn't fully cure it, like the way that's happened to Nulla, but it would certainly ease it. And you'd feel your collarbone knit back together slightly. There'd still be little tangs and crackles of pain, but not as much.
So Gwen would invoke the Morning Lord and tell him that they will be back as soon as they have found the bones of St. Andros.
That's a powerful thing to pledge yourself to do.
Yeah, and y'all know how Gwen feels about promises, right? She is definitely not backing down from this one.
Okay, so you will eventually file out of the church to find Church stood there, waiting for you.
Everyone, Noller and I have a story to tell, but I think it might be connected to the remains. Church will tell will recall what had happened in the coffin maker's shop when he was with Noller, and offer to guide the party there, as he will also explain that this man also paid the gravedigger to steal the remains and deliver it to him. Can I check the purse and see how much he got for doing this?
Sure, there's not much gold in there. There is 8 gold, 5 silver, and 3 copper.
And this is what he got for you. You guys want to go check this coffin maker shop out? Because there's some vampires inside too.
That didn't seem like a lot to desecrate a grave. Maybe he spent most of the money already.
8 gold is a significant amount, especially to a peasant.
He
Yes.
is desperate and starving.
I also need to remember that money works differently for adventurers than it does for NPCs.
8 gold would keep his family fed for, well, he spent a bit of it already, as you can tell by the change. But he has been spending it on, well, I shouldn't tell you that. With a basic insight check, you'd know that yes, he has been spending this on his family. He is a starving peasant.
And we should go and check this house out.
Yes, we should. It would be... Why? It would be downright dishonorable to allow such foul fiends as these vampires to continue to exist within the walls of this city, no matter how much it has wronged us before.
Or the plane of this realm. They shall not be suffered to live. Well, I suppose Church will guide the party at twice the speed because of city secrets to the coffin shop. Coffin maker shop.
I will take you to the coffin maker's shop.
But yeah, Church will describe the building, what they found inside, the layout, and everything. It's likely that this guy's back home, but considering the evidence that we have.
Let me drag you all onto the map so you can see.
I wonder if when you encountered him at the festival, when he ran off, he was getting the bones stolen.
Let's try it. It's 2 churches. We have 2 churches. Got enough problems as it is.
I wonder if he's even returned yet.
Yeah, he might have just completely fucked off.
Oh, we should check the doormat for keys.
Yeah.
Considering we left them there.
Yep.
So you're peeking under the doormat to see if the keys are still there.
Yes.
They are not.
Church is going to make his way around the building and examine the outsides to see if he can see any interesting ways in. Oh, there's a door back here.
There is.
Church is going to examine it. How many locks does it have?
This one only has the one.
One lock. I'll go up to the corner of the building and wave around the corner at the rest of the party. I'm going to carefully examine the door to make sure there's like no alarms or traps or anything attached to it.
You would notice there is a strange little sigil carved into the door.
Does it look arcanic in nature?
It does look arcane in nature. It looks similar to fluted writing bearing the name of Strahd.
Church will look over his shoulder at Moira and wave her closer and point this out. Do you know what this does?
She'll ponder for a second.
This allows vampires to come and go from this house as they please without requiring an invitation. It is a contract of sorts, saying that you've agreed to allow them entrance.
This sigil allows the vampires to come and go as they please. It's sort of like an open-ended invitation. Or a contract.
Church is going to make note of this since it's particularly important with vampires. Is there any way to disarm this? It might be best to wait until after we get done inside, though, right?
Are you asking me, or are you asking...
The party.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll probably just wait. So I suppose Church is going to use the thief. Well, first he's going to turn, rotate his head slowly 360 degrees. Please turn away. I am very shy. As long as everybody complies, he will brandish his thieves' tools from his hands and begin working on the door.
Okay. 24 works. Good job you don't have disadvantage. And with a pretty silent click, the door opens. Well, the door unlocks. It can open if you want it to.
Yes, he will carefully and slowly open it.
Once you open the door, you would hear the sounds of working coming from over here.
Wait, I didn't see that. I'm not sure if it's because it's dark in here or what, but I couldn't see it, like, bloop it out.
Over in the corner.
Okay.
Where you think the workshop was from last time you visited.
Okay. Should we sneak in or rush in to grab this guy?
If we rush in, they might be able to escape.
Okay. Well, should I sneak in and try to apprehend him with my beautiful smile?
Remember that we are not beloved by the town's guards at the moment. We would not want to attract attention to ourselves.
That's why they don't find out.
And even if they did, this man is harboring vampires and the corpse of a saint.
Hence why I am not reporting your transgressions myself. This evil is greater than any you have committed thus far.
Just to be certain, I will go ahead and cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay, you can all make stealth checks then if you want to. Be stealthy. Well, yeah, up to you guys. But you won't leave me any tracks at present. Okay, Gwen, roll a d100, please. Okay, you would hear some silent, smooth noises brushing against the floor upstairs. Something you think has noticed you.
Oh, I got one too.
If you can give me a d100 roll as well, please. Yes. Okay, something towards there. And you can all silently slide into the coffin area.
Now, this is the door that went upstairs, right?
That is correct.
Church is going to check whether or not it's locked.
It's just closed.
Okay. He will actually step back out of the way, and he'll look back to Church, or not Church, I'm Church. Noller, Gwyn, and Grunk as they enter, and he'll point towards that door. Noller will most likely know what's already going on, considering they've both been here before.
He'll nod and raise his shield as he goes towards the door. And he'll open it carefully.
Okay, so you open the door to the stairs carefully. As you hear the door go, make an athletics. Yeah, make a dexterity saving throw as you would be trying to dodge this happening to you. Yeah, you definitely you hear the crunch of wood and you duck out the way as a arm punches through the wood
Holy
and
fuck.
tries to grab you.
Jesus, what the fuck? Can I retaliate with a swing of my Morning Star?
You can go to combat order.
Heck, okay.
Remember to select your token. Jesus Christ.
Oh, the sweet sounds of
Jesus.
battle.
Yes, it's been a while since you had combat, so we will enjoy this.
Oh, so good and tasty.
4 and 3. Aren't we just the quickest on the draw?
You are pretty fast compared to usual. Now, why aren't you rolling? Okay.
That's a 3. That's a 4.
And if you're paying attention last time, you'd know that one of them is missing.
Because didn't one of them go under a walkway or not a walkway?
Yes, you heard someone. Oh, 21, it goes first. It'll attempt to claw and grapple the target. Does a 12 hit you?
No.
Okay, it'll try again. Does an 18 hit?
No.
Okay, it scrabbles at you and misses. Gwendolyn.
I shut the door before combat began, right?
I believe you had, yes, so I'll close that chunk.
Alright. So we don't get any unwanted visitors. Alright. Gwen is going to just move forward between Crawl and Moira and ready her weapons. If anything comes into this area, she will take an attack of opportunity. Otherwise, she's ready to defend.
Okay. This one comes hurtling down the stairs. And tries to knock the door. Well, the door's open, isn't it? So you'd see it coming hurtling down the stairs like a spider. And it will attempt to grapple with its attack. Does a 20 hit?
Oh, it does.
Okay, it will then attempt to bite you. $25.
25 will hit as well.
Okay, its teeth sink into the side of your neck.
So it's 9, 6, and 11.
No, the first claw attack is just to grab you rather than slash you because it wants to bite you. And you see it's. And then you take the 6 piercing and 11 necrotic, and your maximum hit points are reduced. Oh no, is it maximum? Yes, your maximum is reduced by 11. And it regains hit points, and you notice it's rather emaciated, and bloodless form gets thicker and larger, and red flashes in its eyes as it tastes blood. Church.
Church will attempt to hide amongst the coffin he stands around.
Okay, does that beat their passive perception? It does. Just.
And he will take aim for the freak that has a hold of Noller and is sucking his life force.
A 20 will hit. For 22.
That'll be Church's turn.
This rocks the vampire as it plunges deep into it. Crawl.
Do I have a good view of either of the thralls here?
Looking at your vision, yeah, you can see them both.
Okay. I will also try to attack the spawn that's got a hold of Neller.
Okay, go for it.
With I will produce flame.
Not some of them crocodiles.
Not yet.
20 hits. For 10 fire damage. It's quite good. It's quite a lot of damage.
And with my bonus action, Krull will summon forth one of his spirit totems, with the spirit of the unicorn now running around between the party members.
Okay. Whereabouts are you placing that?
Right here next to me.
Does that do anything immediately or not?
Not immediately, no.
Okie dokie. Next vampire spawn. So it appears here. And it'll dash along the roof to over here. Then it'll drop down. So it's on the floor next to Grunk and Crawl. This vampire can make it down the stairs and will drop down here and will attack Nulla with 2 claws at advantage. Just slashing at you rather than biting you.
"23 hits. 17 and 14 do not."
Okay. I'll mark it this one as one currently grappling. Nulla, your turn.
He's gonna whack the vampire that's grappled him.
Okay, you are restrained, so there'll be a disadvantage. A 16 will miss.
And thanks to leveling up recently, an extra attack, he's gonna do it again.
Yeah. 11 misses.
Sad. However, with a bonus action, I believe Misty Step is bonus action, isn't it?
I think so.
With that, cast Misty Step.
You can move 30 feet to an occupied space that you can see.
And with that, he appears next to the unicorn, seeing as a bright light and a beacon of help. And he sort of wipes the blood from his wound and just looks at it and just frowns.
Okay, next vampire spawn. So that's 20 feet to get here. 25, 30, 35. And rush up to Grunk. He will try to grab Grunk this time. Does a 20 grab you?
It does.
Okay, so you are grappled, and then they'll attempt to sink their teeth into you. Just put the netting on. Does 22 hit?
22 does hit, yes.
Okay, you take 6 piercing damage and 2 necrotic, so your maximum health is reduced by 2. So just write that down that you got 2 less health present than usual. And I'll put that to the back for you, House. There you go.
Thank you.
Moira. Fireball?
As fun as Fireball would be, I would also be setting fire to the entire building, so that doesn't seem like the most genius of idea.
Most of the walls made of stone.
Yeah, don't you try to tempt me.
He's doing his
back,
best.
Satan.
Hey, it's not like there's anything explosive nearby.
If I were to do Dragon's Breath, would I be able to hit the one in the stairway? Or would the wall block it from the cone?
No, you can get the one in the stairway.
Alright, Moira is going to move closer to the vampire spawn and then cast Dragon's Breath with as a lightning type, and then she will expel it.
Okay. So you're aiming this to hit this one, this one, this one, and this one.
Yep, let me pull the count. It'll be the 4 of them, and I will cast it at level 3. So
You're aiming this so it doesn't hit Grunk.
Yep. Do you
Okay.
want me to put the phone out?
No, it's fine. I trust you.
Alright, this is at level 3, so that will be... How about I cast the thing first? So that will be 46 damage if it hits.
It's a dexterity saving throw. What's your dexterity DC?
Where do I find that? Is that just a spell cast? Or
On
spell save DC?
your spells, yeah, that's it.
It will be 14 then.
Okay, from right to left.
One hit, one miss. 2 miss. 3 miss.
It's not a miss, just half damage. So roll your... So it's normally a transmutation level 3 spell, so you're casting at what level?
It's normally a transmutation level 2.
Okay, so 4d6. Alright,
4d6 lightning.
roll that 4d6, baby. That's a pretty good roll. So the first one takes the 18, and sort of blocks a lot of what the following ones receive. So the next one receives 9. The other one receives 9. And that one receives... Any movement?
Nah, she won't be able to move without taking an opportunity attack, so she'll stay here.
Okie dokie. Grunk.
Grunk, after seeing Nulla disappear, leaving him surrounded by vampires, and then seeing half of them having their skin blown off, will scream and activate his Rage Storm Aura. And the Storm Aura is just going to attack this one to begin with. So that one needs to make a DC 14 dexterity saving throw.
Is the aura 10 feet or 5 foot?
It is 10 foot, sorry.
10 foot, okay. And it's attacking the one to the south that's gotten grappled.
Indeed.
So it's DC 14 for the D6. It dodges. You're crackling electricity courses along your arm and it just sort of jerks to the side as it spatters out and strikes into the stone behind it. But you are
It's
currently
going to
raging.
take
Now.
half damage.
Oh, is it half damage? Apologies.
And will also attack that one with his Warhammer.
Okay, go for it.
Balls.
Roll a d100, please. Nothing untoward happens.
And similar to Nuller, as I've leveled up, I'll go for another attack.
A 13 will miss. Because you're restrained.
Cool. That's my go.
Okay. This vampire will regenerate some hit points. And will spider climb along the walls to get behind Grunk. And will lash out at Moira. Does an 11 hit?
That's a miss.
Okay, she'll try to grapple you again. Does
That's a
22?
hit.
Okay, she grabs a hold of you. I'll put little icons on there which ones do what, rather than the net. It's a bit easier.
You really need to ask if a 22 is going to hit a mage.
You may have done something like Misty Step or Expeditious Retreat, so...
Misty Step is bonus action, not a reaction, so I wouldn't be able to use it off my turn.
Fair enough. You could have suddenly become a sorcerer and got to do that. Gwendolyn, you see the vampires are grabbing and biting and slashing at people.
All right, let me check my rules for my understanding of the rules for getting advantage or whatever. So if I go to this behind... If I go behind the... Yeah, if I go next to Crawl, I'd be flanking this vampire and get advantage on attacks, right?
Correct.
All right, so Gwen will jump over Crawl and start bringing her sword down on the vampire who is in front of her.
$14 will miss.
And because I leveled up to level 5, I've got a second attack.
18 will hit. You hit for 5 slashing, is that right? Oh, you had 1, right. You graze it along the shoulder with that slash, but it does hurt it.
All right, and Gwen is going to use her bonus action to shove that vampire to the ground. Try and knock it prone.
Okay. Do I have to make an athletics check against you, or are you making what skill are you using?
Doesn't say anything like that. Let me try and copy it.
Did you put it into a feature and trait? Okay. Use bonus action. Okay, so just make an athletics check, please. Athletics to shove. Okay, so it's going to have to try and dodge out the way of this. It fails, it is knocked prone.
All right, and Gwen's going to end her turn.
Okay, the vampire spawn here regenerates some health. And will spider climb up the wall and drop down next to Grunk and Crawl. And will reach out and bite Grunk as he is restrained. Does a 24 hit?
It does.
Okay, so you take 2 piercing damage and 9 necrotic.
Actually, Gwen was... I think Gwen's able to use her shield mastery to... as a reaction to cast disadvantage on that, right?
I think you have to be within 5 feet of the target.
No, she's within 5 feet of the creature.
What's the same one?
Which-
I thought it was.
Yeah,
I thought it was Grunk.
5 feet of the attacker. 5 feet of the attacker. That's what my mistake was too when I was first learning how to do it.
Oh, I must have been fucking up for a long time. Nice.
I don't see that ability on the Shield Master trait, though. Oh no, yes, this their bit's not paragraphed properly. No, it's not on that one. Can you flash the one?
Right, it's fighting shield protection style protection, right?
Yeah, does an 18 hit you instead, Grunk?
It still hits me.
Darn.
Okay, so you
So
take
was it 9
damage.
damage?
2 piercing and 9 necrotic, yes. And the claw will flash out towards Crawl just to strike him. Does an 18 hit?
That will miss me.
Okay. Church.
Church will attempt to dive behind some more coffins and hide.
Which path are you taking?
Wait, where was I? I was here, right?
Yes.
Oh well, fuck. Come on, god damn it. Yeah, like this.
Okay, that's fine. So you dive behind the coffins against the wall and make a stealth check. Yeah, that defeats their passive perception. You dive amongst the debris and the wooden coffins.
I don't see the icon for it anymore, but is Grunk still being grappled?
Yes, he's been grappled by the blue one.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see you changed the colors. Okay, so aim for the blue.
That will miss.
That'll be it.
Okay. Crawl.
Okay, I will strike out in front of or to this one in front of me here.
A 14 will miss.
Alright.
You could have attacked the one that's prone and got advantage.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, in that case, 18 hits
Yeah, I will attack that one instead.
for 18 acid damage. That's a lot of damage. It yells out as it's on the floor and wriggles about.
That'll be it for me.
No bonus actions with your totem?
I can't do anything with it this turn.
Okie dokie. This vampire spawn regenerates a little bit of health.
Oh, I can.
You want to do... Okay, what do you want to do with your totem?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll go ahead and get the healing spirit going with my bonus action. I will place it right on top of Nuller first.
Okay, how much HP does Noah heal for?
He'll heal 1d6 when his turn comes.
Okie dokie. So it needs to move under Noah. Right. So this vampire healed a little bit and will use half its movement to stand up. It did not like that you were attacking it, but it also didn't like Gwendolyn knocking it prone, so it'll do a claw attack at Gwendolyn first and a claw attack at Crawl. That's going to miss Gwendolyn, and 25 against Crawl.
That will hit.
Okay, you take 8 slashing damage. This vampire heals a little bit. And will bite Moira as she's being restrained. 25.
A hit.
Okay, you take 6 piercing damage and 7 necrotic damage. It will then attempt to slash you with its claws. You are restrained, so 22 for 8.
Mm-hmm. Can I please have my token stuff? Thank you.
Nulla, you heal for 1d6 health.
Do you want to roll at house?
Sure. Two health, but everyone gains an additional 5 because of the unicorn spirit.
Everyone gains 5 HP. Nice.
Including
All
myself?
All of my allies regain 5. Not the vampires.
Okay. Oh.
He'll move in and attack the vampire spawn south of Kroll.
Okay.
Uh,
26 hits.
And will smite.
Okay, that does a lot of damage.
And then we'll proceed to do it again.
20 also hits.
With another snite?
Snoit.
Snite!
Snoit.
Good night and good snort.
Roll that smite damage, please. Oh, that is enough to bring this one down. Give me a description.
Fuck.
As the sort of shade of silver hovers around him, he sort of brings his mace in and as moving in and just whacks the spawn like dead center into this chest, and bringing it back through the silvery mist, it gathers as he smites down, and holy essence just radiates and vaporizes it from the inside out.
Very nice.
before things continue, I'm looking at this unicorn spirit totem. It doesn't look like the healing spirit or healing wind would have been amplified by the unicorn. It says it's only for spells using spell slots.
That does use the spell slot.
I thought it was a bonus action.
It still uses
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the second level spell.
Alright, never mind.
Thank you for checking that. It is appreciated. Nulla, anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's all for now.
Okay. The next vampire gets a little bit more regeneration in. It's now looking pretty regenerated, and it will attempt to bite Grunk. Does a 19 hit?
Yes.
You take 4 piercing damage and 4 necrotic, so 8 total. It'll then attempt to claw you. So you'll take 6 slashing damage on top of that. And it's back to Moira.
Moira is going to break the grapple by using Misty Step.
Okay.
She'll position herself here.
Okay.
And that takes up my bonus action, so I can cast a cantrip. So I will cast Eldritch Blast at the one that had me grappled.
Okay, go for it. A 22 definitely hits. And you blow a sizable chunk out of it.
And that is the end of her turn.
Okay, Grunk, your turn.
Grunk's Storm Aura at first is going to target this one here.
Okay. So it's a deck save. Which it passes, so it still takes 2 damage.
And then
Zaps and crackles
I'll
it.
swing at this one here.
The one to your north.
Indeed, and I'll miss.
Yes, 11 will miss.
And I'll go for my second attack, which
A
will
12
also
will
miss.
Yes.
And that's my go.
I think he has advantage though.
He is at standard. He is currently restrained
right.
by the vampire, but he gets.
I'm done.
You can attempt to shove the vampire away if you want to, rather than doing one of those attacks and then going from there. It's up to you.
So I need to shove this one away, don't I, to
Yeah.
not be grappled? Yeah, go on then. Instead of one of the attacks, I'll see if I can push.
Okay, so
the
athletics,
vampire.
please.
Oh Jesus!
Okay, so it's probably going to be able to beat that. Apparently not!
Oh my God!
So you shove it away, you're no longer grappled,
What the fuck?
and you're super angry, so your 20 with Molyneux will hit the one between you and Gwendolyn. So you really crack it across the back of the skull, and you do 17 damage.
And then I might go.
Yes. Infuriated and enraged that Moira has got away from it, this one will move away up to Moira and Church. Grunk, you can make an attack opportunity if you'd like to.
I would very much like to.
And 9 will miss, however.
Oh Jesus!
The vampire tries to grab a hold of Moira.
Yay, that's a miss.
And will then try again to grab a hold of her.
Okay, that's a hit.
Okay, so the first snatch at you misses, but the second one grabs. Gwendolyn.
All right. So I've still got advantage over the vampire to my south, right?
Correct.
In that case, I am going to take a couple shots at her. Here's the first.
21 hits. So you stab her pretty good.
And
20 also hits. For another 5.
how's she looking?
She looks wobbly on her feet. There are large gashes in her body. Her intestines are spilling out. Things are slowly knitting back together, but she doesn't look very hot. Lots of scratches and crack wounds and crack wounds. Lots of scratches and scars and cuts and bruises and blemishes.
Well, in that case, I will use my action surge
Okay.
to take a third shot.
So 22 hits for 10. You get to do another attack.
Oh, sweet.
So that's another 10 damage off, and your next attack also hits. And that cuts her apart. Give me a description.
All right. So Gwen, seeing that, well, after knocking back the vampiress's attack, flies into a rage and pushes herself to her limits, hacking and slashing, hacking and slashing, hacking and slashing, until there are just giblets of vampire spawn falling and dripping off the side of this coffin.
Very nice. any movement or bonus actions?
Yes, Gwen is going to position herself next to Grunk, south of him.
Okay, so you're moving straight down.
And that is my turn.
Okay. Church, your turn.
Sure.
You didn't use your reaction to do the skirmishing thing.
Yep. So I'm going to have to use a bonus action to disengage. And fire a bolt at the vampire holding on to Moira.
19 hits. You launch a devastating bolt in the side of her neck, and it twitches, and you hear the sounds of vertebrae snapping.
Good. That'll be it.
Crawl.
Right. I'll move forward here, next to Grunk.
Okay.
And I will cast Cure Wounds at level 2 on him, to Grunk there.
Oh. Yep, that pauper healing is still the same.
Yep, the old classic. But everyone else does receive 5.
So does that mean I get 9?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And since Crawl specified everyone,
Yep. Oh my goodness.
no. Any bonus actions you'd like to take?
No, I don't have any bonus actions I could use here. That would be all for me.
Okay. Onto the vampire spawn. This one heals a little bit. And we'll attack Gwendolyn with a grab, then a bite, if that works. Does a 15 hit?
Nope.
Okay, she'll try and grab you again.
That does.
Okay, so she grabs a hold of you. So you are now purpled. No, you're now oranged. Nola, your turn.
He'll move up and hit the vampire spawn that's been assaulting Moira.
Okay. $19 hits. For
Hit her again.
21 definitely hits. For 8. You notice her wounds aren't closing up as after you're hitting her. Normally vampires seem to regenerate when you're doing it. Doesn't seem to be happening.
He's gonna put it down to the holiness of his morning star.
Okay, so this one will bite then claw Gwendolyn, since she is restrained. Does a 19 hit?
Yes.
Okay, you take 6 piercing and 6 necrotic. Then claws you. And 14's gonna miss. Moira.
Moira is going to cast a magic missile at the vampire that's grappling her at level 2. And
Okay.
hopefully that will be enough to send it to its final death.
So that is 10,
14,
16. No. It hurts it pretty bad. It goes reeling. It's shaking. I'll make it make a Constitution saving throw. DC 16. Yeah, it drops you. You just blast it in the face with your magic missiles, and its face is peppered with these large purple darts, and it's scratching and clawing it and trying to get them out of its flesh. Any movement or anything like that you'd like to do?
Nope, she's gonna stand where she is.
Okay, Grunk.
If I moved here, south of this one, would they have an attack of opportunity on me?
Are you moving through Crawl and then going south here?
Yeah.
So you're doing this path?
Yeah,
They wouldn't get an attack of opportunity
Cool.
against you.
I will do that then. And then my Storm Warrior as well, so we're going to target this one.
The one to the west of you. Okay. It dodges, so it's going to take 3 damage.
And I'll start by swinging at this one north of me.
Okay. 11 will miss.
I'm going to try again.
A crit definitely hits.
Oh, thank the Lord.
Oh god. Yeah, it's dead. Give me a
Jesus Christ!
31.
After swinging and missing consistently, Grunk just screams in pure anger and just swings his warhammer with an almighty crunch and basically just crumples this vampire into the floor, leaving a dent where it was.
The huge hammer swing leaves a crevice leaves a big hole in the floor where you see various things in the basement. Rats and insects start running away from the light that's beaming in from above them, and you see the remains of the vampire just sort of melting and hissing and fizzing underneath you.
Grunk will let out an almighty triumphant roar and end his go.
Okay, Gwendolyn, your turn. You are grappled. Well, you're restrained.
All right. So if I want to roll an athletics check for escaping the grapple, that would be my turn, right?
That'd be one of your attacks if you're doing a push action against this one. You can
Okay,
attempt a DC 13 athletics or acrobatics check as an action just to escape, or you can try and contest it as one of your attacks.
So by contesting it, it would just give me normal. Or I don't get it. I'm feeling.
Okay, so you're currently grabbed by this vampire. It's restraining you. You can either use your entire action to escape the grapple by rolling a DC 13 athletics or acrobatics check, or you can use one of your 2 attacks to attempt to shove it away from you, thus breaking the grapple. But this would be a contested roll where you roll athletics and it rolls athletics as well.
Okay. I will do the contested athletics check.
Okay, please roll athletics. So you roll a 10. It rolls a 9. You shove it away. Where would you like to shove it?
Gwen cannot see what's behind her, so behind the vampiress, so she's just gonna push her straight back.
Okay, Grunk, the vampire collides with you. Make a dexterity saving throw. DC is 10. Okay, it sort of topples you forward. You'll be back with it, and it's no longer grappling Gwendolyn.
Oh, well, there we go. I thought I was being grappled by the one to myself.
No, one to the east of you.
Oops. Well, alright. And I will take another attack on the vampire to myself.
Okay, go for it. 13 will miss.
Drops. I will use a bonus action to try and knock her prone.
Okay, so athletics roll, please. So 17. Yeah, she goes prone.
And I will, at the end of my turn, I think Gwen's gonna go back. She doesn't want to get too close to Nuller. She'll go back 5 feet and stand next to Crawl.
Okay, you'll take 1 attack opportunity. It will just try and slash you. Does a 15 hit? Oh, sorry, no, 8. 8 miss completely. Church, your turn.
Church will attempt to hide amongst the coffins.
You disappear. You practically slide into a coffin and just have the crossbow poking out.
And he will aim that crossbow at the one vampire he can see. Fire a shot.
17 hits.
Come on, damage.
So 17 damage.
That'll be my turn.
Okay. Crawl, your turn.
Okay. I will stay put for now, but I will. Well, no, I won't. I'll move down to here
Okay.
and strike out at this vampire spawn right next to me there.
.20 definitely hits. The ass's claw strikes true in its back and it howls in pain. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope, that'll be it for me.
Okay, the vampire heals a little bit. And will Nilla hit it last. So Crawl hit it last, so it'll try and grab him. Does a 9 hit?
That does not.
Okay, I'll attempt to grab you again. That's not going to work either. You just can't get a hold of that slippery shell of yours.
Too big.
Too big? Too big. Nilla.
We'll move in to gang up on this vampire and we'll hit it with his morning star.
Make a dexterity saving throw as you move over the hole.
Oh, I forgot the hole was there.
Yes. You can move just there if you want to, it's up to you. Yeah, you dance around the hole so you're fine. The 20 does hit. So it hits for 11.
But
A
I
13 will miss.
Yeah.
But it's not healing this time, so... Blag. The other vampire spawn heals a little bit. Uses half its move to stand up, steps down the stairs, eyes Gwendolyn angrily, and tries to grab her. Missing. And we'll just slash at you this time. Missing. Moira. Bahanol is the first name of Nilla.
Oh, I did not know that. I thought it was just Noller.
No. Moira, your turn.
I will cast Eldritch Blast at the vampire spawn closest to me.
Okay. 19 hits. For 7. You hear the sound of ribs breaking as your blast of force hits her in the side, and she twists and turns, and you hear the bones fracture and crack some more. She's not looking very good. Grunk.
Grunk's going to storm aura the shit out of this one
Okay.
for 1 damage.
She passes, still takes 1 damage.
And then it's going to swing at the same one.
26 hits, definitely. It's a crit. Is that enough to kill her? That is enough to kill this one. Give me another description.
Invigorated from his past cure, watching his party also whittle down these vampires, Grunk just consistently just roaring in ecstasy and triumph again, just swings and clats this vampire into the wall, basically turning her ribs to dust.
Yeah, she splatters against the stone wall and is just mush.
Can I now move and attack this one here?
Yeah.
Can I do that? Cool. I will do that. I'll move here, and or is it possible for me to move here? Or is that going to get blocked by?
You
the
wouldn't
vampire?
be able to move through her.
Okay, I'll just attack this one here then.
Okay. Another crit, and another hit for 10 damage. She doesn't like that.
And that'll be me go.
Gwendolyn, your turn.
Would I be able to edge into that door?
No, I'd say the vampire's definitely blocking that.
Would I be able to try a jump over her? No, that's stupid. Scratch that. Alright, Gwen's just gonna take 2 quick blows with her longsword.
25 hits. The 19 will hit. Well, generally, the way your character's meant to be working is you do your first attack, then you trim to your bonus action to shove them down, then you get advantage if you do that properly with your second attack. The 25 hits for 9.
Alright, I'll remember that for next time.
But the other 9 would miss. Okay, Church.
And
your turn. Oh, sorry. Yes, your turn still.
I am gonna use the bonus action to knock her down for the other guys who just want to get in.
Okay. Make that athletics roll. Doesn't get knocked down. Church.
Church continues rolling around amongst the coffins and debris.
Yeah, you're still staying hidden.
Aims a shot.
And crits. That's a lot of damage. So, tell me how you kill her.
So, oh fuck, which line am I going to use this time? Crump. I almost called him Grunk, but I called him Crunk. Church will burst up out of the coffin as he fires his shot. It sails through the room. The bolt goes between the rest of his party members and into the neck of the vampire, pinning her into the corner between both of the doorways and dislocating her spine from the rest of her body. And he just gives a good call out of thank you for your cooperation. That'll be it.
And she dies. And a ring clatters off her finger and rolls across the floor. And let's see.
Ooh, shiny.
It rolls into the hole in the, or it goes to roll into the hole in the middle of the floor.
Can I dive to catch it?
Sure, make a sleight of hand check.
I'm gonna get myself killed for a fucking shiny, ain't I?
You manage to grab it.
Hooray!
And we will call the session here.
I'm so glad we got back to combat.
I know, it had been a little while. And we will see what, or if the bones are here, and what it is that Moira has snatched from falling into the potential abyss of the floor, where all the creepy cores are hanging out.
I can only imagine what kind of shiny.
And I believe we're also missing a vampire spawn.
Yes, Nulla and Church would definitely notice this. They'd not seen all the vampires they had seen previously upstairs in the second floor of the house. But that will be for next week, and hope you all enjoyed the session.
So good.
My terrible paint picture.
Oh no, where's this one?
Brilliantly bad.
Oh my god!
I love it.
Should put it up on stream so people can see.
I did. I linked it there.
Oh good.
Oh, I linked.
join the Discord YouTube and see the amazing pictures of Spill and co.
Oh, I managed to get
Thank you
full.
very much for watching.
Yeah, all that shit. Thank you for watching, you fucking nerds.
See you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. I'll miss
There
you.
it is.